I would say to fly. I thought maybe being invisible, but to be able to fly would be pretty fun.
This series takes place in two moments in time, in 1930 and the present. In which period did you like to shoot the most?
I really loved playing, in the 30s and during the Great Depression and all that. I partly because I love the whole origin story that this series, spends a lot of time with, is understanding who these people are and why they became who they are and the struggles that they had to go through to get there. I loved it, all the stuff where I lost my mind and had to go to these weird, dark places and ultimately led us to this island, which we ultimately get these powers. That to me was a lot of fun to play as an actor. But I'll also say that even in the present stuff, yes, it's fun to put on the superhero suit and to look like, some weird mixture of Zeus and Moses and Santa Claus. But I love the idea of, having had these powers now for 90 years, what does that do to you? How does that affect you? What does the weight of that look like? And how does it affect your ability to parent your children?
I loved the 1920s because I didn't have to wear prosthetics and a super suit. No, that's a terrible thing. I did love the 1920s, and when I initially read the script, those scenes, I just really liked the feel of that time that I can never get enough of when I watch movies, and it was great to kind of like have those amazing clothes on and be in that world. I really, really enjoyed that. But I don't know, equally, I do love the modern stuff as well, just because the characters are so different. So I don't know. I can't really decide. I'm sitting on the fence.
I didn't really get to do much in the present day, so my obvious answer would be 1929. Except for the non-filtered fake cigarettes where tobacco is constantly in your mouth. I'm looking forward to hopefully shooting when do they start getting filters? Like 1950 or something like that? Looking forward to smoking in that decade.
You guys play the youngest, most modern characters on the show. In your opinion, besides the age, what's the biggest difference between the younger and the oldest characters?
Oh my gosh. Well, I think just their attitudes in general towards life and how they view everything. There's definitely differing perspectives in this. As you know, Chloe herself is very much like, I don't want anything to do with the code. I don't even want to use my powers. She's got some beef with her family at the moment, though she loves them. Deep down in her heart, she loves them, and hopefully we will feel that when we watch the show. But there's a lot of differences.
I think it's like funniest thing I've seen about the show is when anytime the Utopian says language, and I'm like, your son killed a guy. Are we really are we still gonna keep up things?
Yeah.
Like
don't swear in my house.
Pleasantries, you know what I mean? Like, he killed a guy. Pleasantries, what?
What are the main challenges of turning a comic book into a Netflix series?
I think the number one thing is to make it great. You just want it to be as good as it possibly can be. So what I did whenever I started working at Netflix was we said, who's the best person we can get to start this whole thing off? So we went to Stephen DeKnight because I loved Daredevil so much. And Stephen got the ball rolling and just did a great job. We surrounded ourselves with the best possible people. What I love about Netflix is they just want the best guys, So like we went out there, we got all the best directors we could get our hands on, best writers. The writers' room was awesome. We ended up with a show we're really happy with. It's been a very smooth process, even though there was challenges in the middle with COVID and everything. Everything just fell into place, and we've got a show that we're really proud of.
If you could have a superpower, what would it be?
I would say to fly. I thought maybe being invisible, but to be able to fly would be pretty fun. To be able to get I live in Los Angeles, so it's hard to get anywhere, but I could fly to my cabin whenever I want to and just hang out there. That would be my number one.
I think I'm getting inspired by something Andrew said earlier. I'm taking a little bit of that. I would love to be able to speak to animals, like full-on conversations. I could just talk to them, chit-chat away, because I love animals, and that would be cool.
I'd like to be able to create Christmas whenever I wanted. So I could be like, I don't know, Mr. Christmas Sprinkle.
I would love the superpower of just snapping my fingers and being in any movie that I could just be in that set, you know? Ben, I talked about Harry Potter earlier. I think it'd be cool to just be like, Harry Potter, and then you're there.
I wouldn't let anyone know, and I would just sit back and have an easy life. I wouldn't actually do any of the superhero stuff. I would use my powers to make toast or to boil coffee and things like that. I would do that kind of stuff. You know? So.
Yeah, I'd go for telekinesis. Ian said this one before, but it's just a pretty cool power, and you know,
is breathing underwater, because then I could like actually explore the deep, but also I like to surf, so I could start doing big waves and not worry about not being able to breathe underwater.
If you could choose only one character to protect you from violence, who would it be?
Certainly not my brother. You'll find out by the end of the season 1 that maybe we can't trust him. I'm going to go with Lady Liberty.
You know, Chloe seems pretty cool. I think that'd be fun. She's so unhinged, but at the same time, you know, she might be so high, she doesn't know what's happening around her. So that might not be the best answer. I think the obvious answer would be the Utopian at this point.
Mine would be Raikou, which is rather ironic considering what I do to her. But I think it would be Raikou, yeah.
He's my boo. He's my bow. He's my clutch. Of course.
Chloe. Chloe all the time. And she does.
I'm choosing Ben. I'm sorry, Elena. I'm choosing Uncle Walter.
Oh, I see what you're doing there, Andrew.
Wow.
I'm choosing Uncle Walt.
Walter is such a great character. He just works so well. I mean, if you've seen the whole series, you see where he goes. Leslie and Josh, amazing. You know, they look like superheroes, but they've got the acting chops of an Oscar winner. I love them all. I mean, that's the worst answer I could ever give you, but my answer is all of them. I do love them all. I'm so protective of them all.
What are the main differences between the comic book and the show?
There's not really any differences. It's more that we've expanded what the comic book was, because the comic books by their very nature are very short. So you have maybe 400 drawings in a graphic novel, but that is not enough to fill a season or 2 seasons of a show. So what we did is we expanded on things, like in the comic book, the journey that the character goes on to the island where they get their superpowers after these dreams they had in 1929. That's all done in like 7 pages, plus later about another 6 pages in the comic book. But that's 2.5 hours of the TV show. So what we do is we go deep on the television show. We can make the characters more real and give more backstory and everything. So we tell the same story, but we go much deeper, and it's all the better for it. It's super rich. I love it.
If you want to send a quick message to all Brazilian fans,
I think, you know, you're going to enjoy this. It's unlike anything that you've seen on TV or on film. The scope, the feel, the epic size of everything. The stakes are through the roof high.
Oh, Brazil, tune in. You are going to love this show. I know it. I really, really hope you have a good time. I can't wait for you to see it.
Obrigado, Brazil. Please watch Jupiter's Legacy coming out May 7th. Thank you so much.
Obrigado, Brazil. Thank you for watching. We really hope you love this show. Jupiter's Legacy, May 7th on Netflix.
Brazil, obrigado, Brazil. Thank you so much for watching. Can't wait to hear what you think of Jupiter's Legacy coming out May 7th. Beijo. Mwah.